Oh, yep, we do. Sure do, guy.
There's a lot of naked neck in this room.
Record.
A lot of naked neck. I
What
like
the
it.
hell is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Because normally
Just
I
showing
have
off your
beard
fresh
that
shave or
covers up my
something?
neck.
Ah,
I think.
everyone's feeling
Unless
clean.
he's saying something else.
No,
What?
that's all I was saying.
Oh.
No.
Nifty. Ben, what have you been playing? You ain't playing nothing? You didn't play anything? I guess not, probably.
We got to clap.
Yep.
He's
You
been
gotta
doing
clap.
real life things.
That's
Who's
true.
going to count it
I
down
was
because
there.
it's not me or Steve?
Yeah.
Go for it, Alex.
3, 2, 1.
Clap, clap, clap.
Mhm.
I really would love to get to a point where it's like 3, 2, 1. Hello, listeners, and just like roll into it, but I'm not that good.
It's not that good.
Mm,
Not with that attitude.
rip the dream.
All right.
I want to see it right now.
What you got, Ben?
Do it. Welcome the listeners for us. Ben.
God damn it.
Hello? Are you there?
All right. Hello, listeners. This is Detective Ben Malone. I'm back. How are y'all doing? And you're listening to Barely ADS, the show where we shoot from the hip. I already said who I am, but I'm here this week with Alex. Can anybody else hear him?
Nope.
I cannot.
That
There we
one came
go.
through.
Okay.
Third time's the charm.
Cool. And Steve is here.
Aloha.
And Keegan.
That's me. The last of the bunch.
That's Alex, Zan, and Quack. In case you are not hip, sometimes we use real names here, or maybe
Except-
they're fake names.
Right.
You never know. But you do know that we're streaming the show live at twitch.tv/barelyads Monday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. That's God's time. Band of the week this week is Green Tree Novelty Tea, like the tea that you drink on. Okay, that's Green Tree Novelty Tea.bandcamp.com. And if you want your band or anything on the show, send us an email to barelyadestinyshow@gmail.com. Get a hold of us on Twitter at barelyads or go to our website barelyads.com. From there, you can find a link to our Discord or our YouTube channel. You can also go to patreon.com/barelyads to get our bonus content. And yeah, that's the way it goes. Guys, I'm back. I was gone, and now I'm here
You were?
again.
I thought you were
Mhm.
just here the whole time.
No, I turned into Dan for an episode, but that was about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, you're telling me you are not also Dan?
Unconfirmed.
I think Dan asks that question all the time.
I
Dan
thought this
also
was
wonders,
like,
I wonder.
Like you with and without the mask. You know what I'm saying?
Glasses
Like you
on,
found it
glasses
in a
on.
harbor.
Look,
Mhm.
right now, I am definitely 2 Chainz about this, and I am mask off. Okay. I think that's who that sings that. Yeah, I went to visit my in-laws, did a bunch of riding of my bicycle, played a little bit of video games when I could, recorded some music, and now I'm back. And I also, here's a sneak peek. I broke my bike and spent $1,000 on. I've like minorly broke my bike and spent $1,000 on bike parts today. So,
Oh my God, Ben.
Boy,
get that full story. Okay. Hey, this is what happens when you save your money for a long time and you just had that money in cash sitting. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm a frugal
Chilling.
man. This was not a rush to purchase. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while. But if you want to hear more about it, patreon.com/barelyads.
That's
Anyway,
right.
That's right. Hey, I have been playing one game and one game only.
What's that?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
And-
next game release, you're buying.
Hey, you just keep buying them before anything. Like, I don't even have a chance. That's the way
Sure.
it's gone.
Sure.
I'm like, hey, I'm totally gonna buy this. You're like, I already bought it. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna buy it then.
Well, you're going to have to buy it ahead of time so I can preload and start at midnight because that's part of the great fun of a new game. So,
I don't
Cyberpunk.
do that anymore.
Cyberpunk.
So, you act like we're not gonna be playing that
Oh,
on
that's
the
going to be on PC. That's true.
on that personal computer.
All right. You're right.
We'll figure it out. I'll get you.
Ben
Get you with
dodges another
Astrobot.
purchase.
No, I just made us both buy
There you
it. I've been playing Ghost. Barely into the second chapter.
Hey, that's where I'm at.
And
But tell us your impressions since we haven't heard yours yet.
I got a hot take on this game.
Okay.
This game is fun to play. It's just fun to just turn off my brain and stab stuff and do the smoke bombies. I feel like it's definitely feels exactly like Assassin's Creed, but the stuff that I don't care to do, like the Fox shrines, don't take that long and it's worth it to do.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And they took out all the dumb side activities. And I feel like once you get pretty good at the combat, the fact that they throw the random encounters at you when you're trying to traverse the world breaks it up just enough so you're not riding on your horse for 10 minutes straight, because that would
Yeah,
be kind of
yeah.
boring. I'm definitely overpowered. I've been filling out the map as I think everyone has, because I guess that's the sign of a good open world game. You just walk around and start clearing stuff. Yeah, I told you guys before the game came out, I was like, I'm going samurai, full blown.
No, you're not.
I, for the most part, go samurai, but it gets difficult when they have hostages and stuff like that, or you're trying to do the
Yeah.
bonus objectives. Because I am a sucker to being like, well, I could get a little bit more XP in a game that I'm definitely going to hit the level cap way before I should.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But I like I ran up to a fort that didn't have hostages recently, and the bonus objective was like kill someone during a standoff. So I was like, all right, and just went in there heavy, and it was very difficult. Like when you just run in and have everyone attack you head on, but it's also very fun.
Mhm.
And
Totally.
it makes me wish there was were more games that were like you versus a lot of people, like Bloodborne difficulty, you versus a lot of people, and you just the entire goal is just to keep your eyes on everyone at the same time
Spider-Man
and
kind of
just
does
start
that.
blocking and dodging. Yeah, Spider-Man does do that.
It definitely
guess.
has sort
I
of the
want
Batman Arkham
swords.
vibes too. You know, some of the
Yeah.
combat gives me that with the different triggers and
Yeah.
getting all the
Mm-hmm. I've been getting really good at changing stances.
yeah.
and that
It's kind of
feels awesome.
hard.
Like
Yeah.
when it's usually I'll dodge roll, and then like mid dodge roll, I'm like, okay, this is the new stance, and because I'll hold that button down and kind of like look at like, okay, who's right next to me. But I do hate the dance of like there's a brute and a sword guy walking at you, and you're like, who's gonna attack first? I don't know which stance I need to be in for this.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's when I do
I
the running.
really
attack.
appreciate
the
good
like
call.
run and
I really
tackle 'em.
appreciate the slow mo. I like the
Yeah.
slow mo on the stance change too. It really helps.
I forgot about that. The dash and you hit the circle and you
Yeah.
shoulder check somebody. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about that attack.
It's
Yeah.
a really good way to like you've got 3 people coming at you and you can just incapacitate one quick, and then if one of them's a pike person, I try and hit them with a kick and then
Oh, nice.
face off against the third guy or whatever. Just like I know the kick you can kind of keep people off of you, and then that shoulder check is good. Just to keep it so even in a crowd you can kind of force more of a 1v1 and not have to play as reactively.
I like
For sure.
the pike guys. I like or the spear guys, when you get the automatically counter their attacks is really good.
Super powered. Yeah.
I've kind of developed a system. If I can go in hot, we go in, get the triple standoff, shoot somebody in the face, smoke bomb, triple assassination, and by then your focus is back, and you should be able to shoot another person in the face. It's
Yep.
the
Yeah.
eight combo. So
Nice.
that's kind of more so now than going straight samurai. I think I'm just trying to be like, how fast can I clear a place?
That's what
Yeah.
the game's really good at.
Because you can
and then,
just wreck them if you get the standoff and then get back to stealth, because then it's like, okay, I can set up at least 3 and then be a absolute battering ram for the last handful of people.
And here's my pro tip: when you run into who are the big bad guys at the outposts, the leaders,
The leaders.
yeah, just kunai, and then heavy bow to the face. Just real
Nice.
simple. Take them out very quickly.
Or just heavy
'Cause they're
bow
a
to the
pain in the
face.
butt.
I've been
Well, yeah.
one-shotting.
I mostly it's when I kind of get into a uh-oh scenario and like he's coming to get me while everyone else is around.
Mhm.
I'll probably just kunai and shoot him in the face, move on.
Nice.
But
Yeah, my favorite is maybe a little bit because I watch too much anime, but the kunai and then the heavenly strike, where you like dash straight through them and do extra damage. You can usually one shot most leaders, and it's like the sprint right past them. You're just standing there with their sword, and then they fall in half. It's good.
how have you guys been doing with the duels?
I love them.
Because I feel like the duels are so much more challenging than the rest
Oh,
of
then
the
the rest
game.
of the game, yeah, they
But
absolutely
they are.
You know,
But
But
it's good. I like it. I wonder if people that are more casual are like, F this. This sucks.
yeah, not everybody's been playing FromSoft games like we have.
exactly. That's the little FromSoft nugget in there. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, you can get really technical on this part.
The duels
Yeah.
are sick. I've lost quite a few of them.
Sure.
The duel at the end of chapter 1. Wow.
Hmm.
They telegraphed it very, loud, but still cool story moment.
Mhm.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it was awesome. Yeah,
Liking the story so far?
Yes and no. It's not interesting enough that I'm like, I'm gonna start mainlining the main quests. It's just like every like 3 or 4 big missions, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of interesting, but I definitely forget what's going on most of the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm just like, oh, I'm open worlding.
Oh,
So-
that reminds me. That's the like little introspective parts I feel like are there to remind you of the main story mission. So like if you find a hot
For
spring,
sure.
it's like reflect on your code or reflect on whatever main part of the story you're on. You know,
I mostly pick food.
you reflect on food.
Whenever
a lot.
that's the
Like-
option. Yeah.
Food and my mom were like the only 2 things I ever pick.
I've never
Need to go to more
gotten
hot springs.
mom as an option for
Oh, yeah,
reflection.
there's an option in there.
How are your haikus going?
Oh, my first one was garbage,
very
but
peaceful.
the rest of them have been fun.
I genuinely really like doing that. Like I try
Right.
when it pops up, I was trying to be like writing them as Jin at first, and I was like, I don't know anything about Jin. I'm gonna do this like as personal as I can make it, and like actually try to do something cool with it.
Yeah, you
So
get some good shit out of it, man. You know?
And I like that when you go to select the headband, it has what you wrote.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Because I was like, oh, I gotta write some of these down, and then nope. Coolest headband is definitely I think it's the one of death where it's like white and has blood all over it.
Oh, that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah, what's up
Yeah.
with your fashion game, guys?
I'm rocking
Oh.
the purple headband, the bow armor, and the second like cloth covering mask. It's like white.
White.
Yeah.
I'm doing the straw hat because I like the like early first episode of Afro Samurai when
So,
he's
like,
got the
just
hat on.
The regular straw hat, or like one of the weird like tiered ones.
Yeah, which straw hat?
One of the big ones that covers your face and has like a slash cut through it.
Okay, yeah, I know
Okay.
which one you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
Nice.
about.
I'm
That's it?
currently I
And then
got
like
the
the Ronin attire and all that.
Ronin.
Sorry,
Nice.
Alex. What can you tell us what you're wearing without spoiling anything?
Oh, I guess. Well, I'm currently cosplaying as Sly Cooper in the game, so because I platinumed it.
No. So there's you can
you
be
serious?
Sly Cooper.
As close as it considers it. There's a trophy for it. It's pretty cute. But
All right,
Mhm.
I don't know.
think I'm gonna
Ben,
work
you
towards
saw
that.
you saw my what I was running on. Usually like
The straw hat.
straw like the Betrayers had a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and there's
It's just the Ronin stuff, right?
usually the Ronin stuff. Yeah.
But I think you
Pretty
and I
good.
both do the swap. I'm
Oh yeah.
like Ronin I do the Ronin with the red straw hat, the Oni blade hat,
Mm-hmm.
and the face wrap. And
Yeah.
then
I recently got that one, and I switched to that before my cosplaying days started.
and I have full blown upgraded the samurai armor. That was the first thing I did. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm like heavy samurai armor, like white and red. And then it's got like I don't know if you guys have seen it. The helmet's got this giant, huge moon on it.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the Avenging Lord mask, which is just the same as all the other masks, but it's got the crazy like
The giant
mustache
mustache.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's so sick. That's my battle gear.
Okay.
I love a good fashion. Yeah, that's all. That's all I played, and then riding my bicycle.
Right on.
So
Oh,
my
yeah.
biggest problem with playing Ghost right now is I'm having a lot of fun doing like the exploring and stuff, and then I get to a section where it's just pure combat and I'm not doing the stealth. And the first thing I think is, man, I think I'd rather be playing Sekiro right now.
Yep.
And so I have just been mainlining Sekiro. Last week I was like past the first big boss, Genichiro. And since then, I've knocked down, I think, 6 major bosses and just a ton of mini bosses. And most of the bosses, I've been like first try, just
So,
walking through 'em.
Nice. Amazing. Nice.
As the only one who's played both, how does it compare difficulty wise to the Born?
It's a way different game.
So you can't.
But I think it's
not easy to compare it.
It's really weird to compare because Bloodborne, I feel like, is built a lot around step countering. And in this game, almost every enemy, after you get to a certain point, will just fuck your shit up if you try and step counter.
Okay.
Oof.
And so it's all like a rhythm game of you learn the pattern of how they attack, like how many they do in a row, and then you have to match the rhythm by hitting block right when they would hit you.
Mhm.
And
With
then-
the occasional step counter thrown in there.
yeah, step counter, or they'll like pull out something where you have to step counter towards them, or you have to jump over or jump backwards.
Yep.
To really break up everything. But then you get people with weird timings, like the headlesses I was fighting. They swing the sword super, super slow, but they'll spin it around. And so, like, you're so used to these fast swordsmen and mashing block, and then this one is like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, block.
Mhm.
It's the Bagman
Yeah.
from Bloodborne.
The monk is kind of like
Mhm.
that too.
Yeah, the corrupted monk. I was having absolute fits with the monk. That was one of the ones I think I had to try 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
All right.
And you've
Just
been playing
wondering.
it, Zan. You're
I'm on the final
You're-
boss.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so I'm gonna probably try and beat that, and then that'll free up Ghost to jump in full force. I was kind of at the final boss beforehand, but as a lot of you might know, I built a new PC for a stream PC, and when I was resetting up my desk and everything, my gaming PC took a crap. So I had to format my hard drive and was just like, but my Sekiro save. And I was really freaking out until I discovered that Steam has cloud saves and it's opt out, not opt in. So didn't lose any progress. And that was my biggest win right there for the week in
Hell yeah.
Sekiro. So I really just kind of had to get to the final boss, and I'm there. It's Ginchuru again for one phase, and then some FromSoft weird happens, and then the actual final boss comes out, but just like a we're gonna throw it back to Men in Black and the roach that's inside of that human. That's how it looks when it comes out. And that's a 3-phase boss, so it's 4 phases in a row, and it's gonna be real tough. So,
Nice.
How far have you gotten into him? Have you gotten second phase, third phase?
I've gotten to I can beat Genichiro, or Genichiro or whatever,
Mhm.
fairly consistently now, and Ishin just dunks on me in that first phase because it's kind of like that little bit of a. He's got a combination of fast and slow moves. The slow ones being incredibly powerful, and it's tough to tell. He's got a lot of things you have to dodge, so it's tough to tell when to hit the dodge button to actually avoid the thing. But I'll get there. It's just, you have to beat somebody first before you can practice that move set. So that'll happen
Yeah.
at some point. But yeah, real hard. The dragon
Just
fight
Sword Saint.
is super easy, like ridiculous easy.
I've heard it's really cool though. Like it's
Oh yeah,
it's,
for sure.
as far as the theme and everything, it looks great.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm
thankfully,
excited to try that one out now that I'm done with Ghosts.
dude, enjoy it. It's a ton of fun.
And then we got to move on to Dark Souls 3, the 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
I'm down to start that whenever. It's on sale right now for like $15 on PS4.
Oh really?
really?
I'll have to
Okay.
snag that
Mhm.
tonight then.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
It's going to be great.
Well, one of us can play it on disc because I believe Pete has it. Yeah.
Go. So yeah, good.
Okay.
Anybody else playing anything?
Yeah.
The normal stuff.
EverQuest 2, Rocket League for Quack, looks like.
Yeah. I guess I have been playing Phoenix Wright, the old
Interesting.
Game Boy game, because it was on sale on Steam and I needed something to play while I was watching Netflix.
Yep.
There you go.
And it is really easy and silly and dumb and just how I remember it. It's a good, like, don't really have to pay that much attention to it kind of
Nice.
game.
That's what I play do when I play EverQuest. So if you want to try that out, let me know. I'll power level you.
There you
Cool.
Yeah.
Games.
go. Yep.
We're full of them.
Indeed.
Guys, Cuphead coming out on PS4. Did you guys know that?
Not coming out.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere.
It is out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's from PlayStation's Twitter, by the way. What weird though, right? Like that was like
Out of
Totally
nowhere.
unexpected.
Master
Mhm.
Chief and Cupo Boy or whatever,
Yeah.
the two Xbox mascots. I don't know. Whatever. Take-Two raises over 15 million for over 180 organizations worldwide to help fight against COVID-19. The story was from gamesindustry.biz. I guess not really a story, just like, hey, awesome, right?
Yeah.
Tight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
for
God.
sure.
Netflix is making a Beyond Good and Evil movie. This from James Batchelor at gamesindustry.biz. How are you going to make a movie about a game that we don't know anything about because it came out so long ago and you won't come out with the new one?
Right. No one keeps getting delayed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Or is this a way to get us to all buy the new game?
Probably.
Yeah, is this a marketing ploy?
I don't know.
It would make
Maybe
sense.
that game
Like,
exists actually.
It
but
worked for The
whoever-
Witcher.
Yeah.
Inception. Hold on. There's a joke here.
Am I gonna have to dream about it?
Listen,
Pull it out.
we don't know what their marketing ploy is, but you could always ask Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right? Because he was on E3 doing the Beyond Good and Evil, make your own art, put it in the game. He's an actor. I smell something fishy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Don't
Thanks for
support
waiting,
that,
everyone.
Alex. God.
We're
Just
supposed to
trying to
let these
sell us,
fall
man.
flat. It's what the listeners want.
Right.
Listeners want more.
This is how you tell a
JGL.
joke.
You have to make everyone
Set up,
stop.
and this is the punchline.
Mhm.
Guys, Halo Infinite's
Everybody
multiplayer
take
mode
notes.
will be free to play. I'm sorry, Halo Infinite's multiplayer mode will be free to play, confirmed by Microsoft. And that's from Matthew Handerhan of GamesIndustry.biz. Do you think that's on PC? Is it crossplay with PC and console?
Probably. I would hope so.
I like how we're
Yeah.
just assuming this stuff now. It feels good to just be like, if you don't do that, I mean, people are going to be asking questions.
Mhm.
I have a question though regarding Xbox. Did we ever get a hard confirmation that all these exclusives are coming to PC?
Yeah, every single one of them said Xbox and PC at the end of the
Alright.
trailers.
Well,
Yep.
let the games begin. Konami is now making esports PCs. This is from James Batchelor, GamesIndustry.biz. Has anybody seen one of these?
No.
Yes, they're like small, and it doesn't look like they have any buttons on it. With like a, the Series X has that like waffle pattern, like vent system on it.
Yeah.
It looks similar to that on the top and on the front.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is it powerful?
I would imagine if it's for esports that it's going to be able to handle gaming at an
Esports.
esports level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonder what that costs.
Right. Hmm.
Wouldn't that be so weird if like the Konami box became like, it's a
Yeah.
game system, but like it only does like Call of Duty or fighting games. Like that's it. Like
Here's your
it just has a
$800
really good.
awesome box that's perfect for competitive gaming. Or
If there is there a
Yeah.
way to make connection better on a hardware level, because that's what they're gonna do.
Probably.
Maybe.
I mean, if they're all like, you get
Yeah.
kind of that stuff if you get like all MSI parts or all Asus parts or something like that.
Sure.
That's something that they can do and look into.
The world is their oyster. Konami, I say, do it.
Yeah.
Niantic doubles donations to Black Lives Matter causes to 10 million. That's a weirdly phrased thing. James, that's from James Batchelor at GamesIndustry.biz. I'm so happy that this is still going on.
Yeah.
Like, not obviously,
yeah.
you know what I mean. That people are
Support
still
it.
donating. That
Yeah.
we're still in support of Black Lives Matter. Feels good. Sony State of Play coming on Thursday. On Thursday, August 6th, with no major PS5 announcements, and will focus on upcoming third-party published PS4 and PSVR games. It's from Adam Bankhurst at IGN. Did Iron Man VR ever come out? I thought it got delayed,
Yeah,
right?
it's out.
It's out.
No, it's out.
Well, guys, I think I know the next game I'm going to buy. Steve, the next game I'm going to buy is going to be great for you because you own a PSVR.
Well, at some
Thank
point,
God
I'll just have to borrow your
Game
VR
Share.
and bring it down here.
I mean, you don't have nearly enough space. You got to do it in a living room.
That's kind of true.
But Doom is fun. Alex played Doom. VR is not
Doom
bad.
is fun.
Like
No.
VR is pretty cool.
I could
it's
also
just
just get a
not a lot
VR
of
head. Like
games.
I could get an Index or something if I wanted to.
He's got that gaming PC, bro. Get it an Index. Yeah.
I was like, please don't get another PSVR. I want to try other games.
I might upgrade this
Um,
bad boy first and then get it. We'll see.
Nice.
This bad biddy. That's the future of this podcast, listeners. It's all VR. That's all we're going to talk about.
Nope.
All of our futures, bro.
We're just going to talk about Astrobot, and I almost said Halo, but what I meant was Half-Life.
Yeah,
There you go.
All right, well, let's get into the big stories.
Tell me a big story.
All right, so this is a little bit more of a conversation piece than a bunch of information. But Square Enix's Avengers game is getting a PlayStation exclusive Spider-Man character. This from Chaim Gartenberg at The Verge.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's limited, but it seems like it's always going to
Yeah.
be the case. I don't think Xbox players are ever going to get to play as Spider-Man.
I don't know if it's Spider-Man. It did the wording a Spider-Man character. It could be anybody else who's a good guy in Spider-Man. I don't know who they are.
No, it is Spider-Man. Think about
Or
it.
it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man. So a lot of people are upset about this.
Oh wait, but don't. I don't know. I guess it's kind of weird with like Spider-Man the game coming out
Well, yeah,
exclusively. for
Sony
PlayStation.
owns the rights to Spider-Man, so it would make sense that
Mhm.
he'd only be playable on the PlayStation.
The
But it's
power
also
of the
weird,
PS5.
there's so many weird loopholes around that too. Because like, isn't he like in Marvel's Avengers Ultimate Alliance 3 or whatever for Switch? Like, isn't Spider-Man in there?
Yeah, Spider-Man's
You know,
and stuff.
Spider-Man's in
Hmm.
cross-gen stuff, but
But
I mean, it just seems like an exclusive deal that they made.
Well, isn't Ultimate
Yeah.
Alliance only on Switch?
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah. This is a way to get people to buy, like, say you have an Xbox and a PlayStation, and you're interested
Sure.
in the Avengers. What version you getting?
The one
The
with Spider-Man in
Spider-Man
it, bro.
version.
Yes,
I mean, let's be real.
exactly.
We love a good Spider-Man on the show.
I believe it's coming in a DLC, so it might not be there at launch, but
Yeah.
we also got there information on the big update coming to Sekiro in October from the
This is what got
Sekiro
me interested.
website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reflection of Strength and Gauntlet of Strength. You're going to be able to rematch previously defeated bosses in single and consecutive battles. Quack told us a little bit about this last week, but it was officially announced this week. You will be able to change form, so there's going to be 3 cosmetic like suits you can put on to make yourself look different, including old Ashina Shinobi and Tengu. And then there's Remnants, which you can send a recording of your actions to other shinobi. Recordings can be up to 30 seconds long, and you can attach a message. This will be a good way to share hints and strategies. And it kind of, there was a picture, it kind of looked like the old like ghost character in Mario Kart, where you could, in the time trials,
Mhm.
you know? So kind of like
Echoes in Bloodborne,
Yep.
except not when people die. This will be you can show yourself like, here's a tricky jump where you can go get an item or whatever.
That's tight.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see how the gauntlet is. Like, do you get all of your heals and stuff back in between, or do you just get the like maximum heals if you've gotten all of them on this playthrough? And
Alright.
how many can you take down in a row
Yeah.
with limited resources?
It's going to make some fun streams, for
Yeah.
sure. Quack and I have already talked about some races, so should be a
Cool.
good time. Next up, Ubisoft fires executive Tommy Francois after he was accused of sexual harassment. This is from Samuel Horty at Business Insider. The vice president of editorial and creative services at Ubisoft has left the company after facing allegations of sexual harassment. Sources told Business Insider he was fired following an internal investigation. He had been placed on administrative leave in June, pending investigation, which apparently they found stuff. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So that's some good coming out of something horrible. And, hopefully,
Yeah. How many is that down now at Ubisoft? Because they've
like
just been cleaning house,
yeah,
like
6 or
one
7.
after another.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. 6 or 7 at least.
I'm just waiting
I'm still
for
blown away that the CEO is like, "Oh yeah, I had no idea this is going on." And it's like
Yeah.
your vice presidents are doing it, and you have no idea. Zero.
Yeah.
I'm not going
Smells
to be
bad.
surprised when Yves resigns. Not
Yeah,
in the
it's
It's not a
slightest.
good look.
There's a lot of muddy water there now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good manager, take ownership of your people. You're the CEO. That means you're in charge of literally everything, all operations at Ubisoft. So if this stuff is happening, it is your fault because
And
you're in
happening
charge of
all
them.
over the place at the company.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Yves, you're not blameless. Even if you didn't actually partake in any actual like sexual harassment, it's still your fault because you enabled it to happen.
Go on, get.
Yeah. And maybe we'll actually get some like 9s and 10s out of Ubisoft instead of just constant 7s.
Right.
They clean house and get all new people. So. All right. 343 Industries is working to address Halo Infinite graphics criticism. This from Fraser Brown at PC Gamer. Halo Infinite received much criticism following the Xbox game showcase. The consensus was that the game didn't look very next-gen. So community manager John Junizek said the game is meant to have a more vibrant palette, cleaner models, and objects with less noise. The demo was from a work-in-progress build from several weeks ago that contained a variety of graphical elements and game systems that still needed to be finished and polished.
I've got
Look.
a take on this one. I've got a hot take on this one.
All right.
So, Halo has been looking at all of the big competitive games that are blowing up, always at the top of the Twitch directory, always got the most microtransactions, all that shit. None of those look that great. Counter-Strike Source, it's not that detailed of models. Or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Rainbow Six Siege even. It's nothing crazy that you're seeing there. It's stuff that is readable and understandable by the people playing the game.
Yeah,
So
Overwatch
Halo's
2.
going, you know what we want? We want, because it's free multiplayer, we want everybody in there buying our transactions and shit. And the best way to do that is have it available on the most number of PCs, blah, blah, blah. So you can scale some stuff up, but at some point you got to have clean, like very defined character models and enemies and guns and stuff like that. And I think some of that you're going to take a hit on the graphics that you're showing. And the fact that they showed it at an Xbox One event is pretty tone deaf, not understanding what the audience wants. But I think they're trying to go the esport route and trying to simplify things to make it easier for the viewer to read what's going on.
That makes sense. I get that. With the free-to-play model especially, the whole thing makes a lot more sense because they're obviously trying to cast a super wide net. Compatibility is going to be a huge factor. How next-gen can it really get? You know, maybe they're packing a whole lot in that ray tracing update, but who knows?
You know, counterpoint. Bro, it's Halo, bro. Okay? What do you want? It's Master Chef. He's out here shooting the grunts. Okay, we're back to it. Boots on the ground, grappling hooks in the air. Okay, this is the power of the Xbox Series X.
He might even flip a shrimp into your mouth, that Master Chef.
He might.
Wow.
Okay.
Such skill, such grace.
You know,
Is he going to cook my food in front of me too? At a hibachi?
If
If you
Phil
ask nicely.
Spencer is known for one thing, it's being honest, and he told us that Halo is going to rock our worlds, and it did. Okay.
You're right. It did.
Rocked something.
We're
It rocked
talking
the
about
boat.
It rocked our worlds 18 years ago.
Xbox.
Yeah.
All right. Something that definitely didn't rock our world, Anthem. But they're hoping to change our minds. We talked a little bit about it last week, but we got official news from the BioWare blog and Christian Daily. Their loot and equipment goals. So this is the big story. We'll run down through it and talk as we go, I guess. The first thing, they want a satisfying loot experience. So they admit that they dropped the ball, and in order to move forward, they took a look at some of the best in class and great games that inspired them to find what worked best. Destiny. Anyway, so they want to respect your time. So there's going to be an increase in the frequency of loot drops. Loot is viable more often. All items are better and more competitive, but there's still a chance of getting something exceptional. And all loot rarities have strategic value throughout progression. Sounds exactly like what Bungie was saying when they were talking about making blues and greens relevant.
100%.
Like a year and a half
Exactly
ago.
what I was thinking. Yep.
So, yeah. And
We'll see. It's not a perfect system in Destiny either.
No. But yeah, they're telling us their goals. So they don't know how much of this is developed yet. But yeah. Also, the next category, embrace choice. You're going to be able to purchase specific loot without relying on randomness alone, quests, specialized vendors, and unique loot tables. And also, you'll be able to modify your loot, including re-rolling inscriptions and leveling up items. So Destiny loot.
The problem is that the loot wasn't cool to begin with. You never had some guns
Right.
that were shooting demon souls at people. Destiny, I heard this on a different podcast. I think it was MinMax, where it was Serial Vasquez, and I'm being, of course, paraphrasing, was saying that
Hey, what's
one
up?
of the reasons Destiny is so successful is because of the lore behind all of that, and that you're really looking for, like, this is a cool thing, you know, this is why this gun is interesting, this is why this character is, like, this expansion's big because we know a lot about this character and they're finally coming back, stuff like that. And Anthem just didn't have any of that, and
Oh.
the guns aren't cool. They're just
And none of them
basic
felt
guns.
different. Like,
Yeah,
if I equipped an auto rifle versus
Yeah,
a pulse rifle or whatever they called it, it
probably
was
good,
like,
just
okay,
wait till
so
tomorrow.
I have to click the trigger instead of just holding it down now, but it doesn't feel any different in the character's hands. It doesn't look any different when it's hitting the enemies. It doesn't
Sure.
do anything to the point where I'm like, oh wow, this kind of weapon is cool
Right.
here. Like, really, the thing about Destiny
You
that
might be
sells
able
it
to
is
do
the
that
fact that
yourself,
running
too, if
around
you
shooting
call.
guns and smashing aliens in the face with your bullets
So.
looks and feels great. In Anthem, the abilities were fun. I definitely agree. The flying was great. The guns, couldn't tell you a single archetype of weapon that I liked in it.
Right.
yeah, it's oh man,
I'm nervous that
do it.
they're looking at lessons from Destiny and like
Yeah.
the Division 2, and all of them have made like some
Right.
general good progress, but there's still so much to go.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for
sure.
from them too. So like until there's like stats involved,
Mhm.
it's just like buzzword,
Probably not.
buzzword,
They'll end up
buzzword. It's like,
getting
yeah, no
pushed
shit. You
through
want
to
your
you
game
guys,
to
so
be
you
good
might, if
and
people
fun.
want to order,
Like,
Honestly,
everybody does.
If
it'll
I
have
were
be
to
taken
redesign
in-house,
Anthem,
so.
I might just drop guns altogether and give you just abilities, and you can level up your abilities by using them or by
Okay.
getting like drops. If you're using the poison blast or whatever, and you get a better poison blast dropped from a boss, you can upgrade the one you've got, and then you can continue to level that one or whatever. Like, give people
little
reason to
bit,
use things, and it. For me, it was the abilities that were fun, and that was what made the javelins feel different and made them feel exciting to use. And so just make it so you're spamming abilities the whole time.
And
Make
it
the
doesn't mean you
fast one
can't-
running through everybody. Make the
I mean,
warlock
I don't
shooting
know.
spells everywhere. Make the big heavy
We'll have
one
to
running
see.
through people
I
with a
don't think
giant
Sam would
shield.
be one
Like,
to steal or anything like that.
I mean, it doesn't mean you can't still have, like, oh, one of my abilities is I shoot rockets, or I pull out my gun and go like,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. But like, if you pull
Right.
out a gun, when you pull out the gun, you should be pulling out, the big minigun and like
I've had to do that
just
too.
mowing
Yeah,
people
it's like a
down.
That's why
power
you're
attack.
a manager.
You use it
So
for
you
X
can
amount of
make
time,
those
and then it
spells.
stops, and it's got a
And
cool
that's
down,
the
so you
rule,
pull out
if
your
it was
shield and
goes back.
whatever else again. I agree.
Yeah,
It
I
would
like
be almost like a more you're like sort of competing with Marvel at that
Okay.
point. With
Yeah.
Avengers, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually that has me a lot more
Correct.
interested to even buy that.
No, I think
so.
it's you and Janet again.
I mean, it felt like Anthem was half
Yeah.
of a game. Like, if it would have kept going, if it, like, everything had a part 2 of the abilities and part
Yeah.
2 of the guns and, like, part 2 of the story where, like, it actually got interesting.
It
Like,
really
it-
felt like the cake that you
Right.
pulled out too early. Like, it's got all the flavors there, but it's just not right.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, other things that they wanted to do. Keeping it the game or loot accessible and immediate review. Okay, so I saw this. It was a GIF of just like you killed something and tons of
Right.
loot pops out.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can go into the start menu and look at your stuff at any time.
Yeah, because they had the like engram thing where
Sounds
you had
good.
to go back to
Thanks.
town
You
to
too.
find
Yeah.
out what
Bye-bye.
items you had.
Now you can just look at it immediately. The reliability of equipment and rewards. So I don't really understand. Each item has an inscription budget based on its power and rarity. No more useless items because they were missing. They must have inscriptions. And exceptional items are about to get the exact type of bonuses you want instead of maxing values on every bonus.
Inscriptions
So
are
just
perks.
focus. Okay.
So it's like Destiny.
Oh, I get the budget now. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, so
Mhm.
you can't just have all of the most powerful ones all on one thing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to mix and match.
It's
Got
legit straight up Armor 2.0 applied to Anthem.
That's what. That's yeah. mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, scale your future. Your power cap can be easily increased, and the system scales accordingly. Advanced telemetry data allows us to identify trends and make meaningful balance changes. They're using these goals to help focus on the right priorities as they continue to iterate and progress in their internal playtesting. All of these are still in the early days, and they will continue to test and experiment over the coming months. So here's some real
Yikes.
quick, just other areas of exploration. Gunplay is more responsive, and there's improved client-side prediction. Looking into the role of melee items and builds, being able to spend skill points to unlock new types of equipment and synergies, new weaponry concepts based on factions. So
Yep. So that's
Cool.
finally some stuff that is not from Destiny necessarily, but pulling from another best in class game that had similar things, Mass Effect.
yeah, I think it comes down to the story again. Is like we're talking about just the story not being there. It gives you kind of not really a desire to learn more or keep playing, and that on top of all the other systems that are just
Yeah.
like
Well, from
This is a 2018 game, right?
yeah, and from I can't remember exactly what it was. It was either a Twitter AMA or a video or something like that. They were saying that they're not gonna like add much like raw story to the game, but rather try and build the world out with like lore and world building type things, which will help minimize cost, get the product out faster, because cutscenes are expensive and take a long time. Whereas they can drop a note in the corner of some dungeon that tells you a lot about the world pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, notes in Bloodborne or Sekiro or Dark Souls are way more interesting than any of the story that was presented in Anthem, honestly. Like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
all I can tell you is there was a bad guy who seemed like a generic bad guy, and he wanted to do bad guy things for bad guy reasons, and everything else I blanked out because it was uninteresting and uninspired.
Right. And Last of Us Part 2 told us that you can tell amazing pieces of story with little drops like that. It's one of the best
yeah.
best iterations of that I've seen.
I read
in a
every
long
single
time.
note in that game. I can't remember the last game I read every single
Yeah.
piece of literature.
Exactly.
But I think there's a little bit of a balance there too, because it's it was just enough.
Yeah.
Each
Yeah.
You
there's
still
like
have-
there's a big wall when it's like here's 4 pages of lore, and I'm just like, oh, dude, I don't know.
And if you're getting them every other step, it can be overwhelming, but space it out enough. Yeah.
There's a sweet spot.
For sure.
And I definitely like the idea of having those in the world because I felt like Anthem did a decent job. I do remember like flying around the world and being like, wow, this is really pretty and cool. And then being like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't have a single reason to go explore any nook and cranny because there's no enemies in the nooks and crannies and there's nothing to collect there. So
Right. And they have like the best nooks and crannies of any game I've seen in a couple of years at least. That world is just huge and beautiful and vertical, like even
Mhm.
better than Destiny's verticality by far. So like that, like you said last week, the gameplay loop and the world itself are fantastic. It's just all the sub parts are lackluster. So
Let's see whether they can pull it off.
yeah, I'm a wait and see on this one. When it comes out, I'm sure other people will play it, and maybe if it starts getting a lot of buzz and people are like, oh shit, they actually unfucked it. Count me in.
Yeah.
Interested.
we're hoping for a No Man's Sky next type update.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think time frame is when they say this is early dev? Is that 8 months from now? Is that a year from now?
I think at least a
8
year.
months to a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
like that's
so-
what's so crazy to me. Like, how do you just not say we're making Anthem 2 at this point? Like, we're gonna take all these lessons, and why are you investing in a
Well-
2018 game?
I don't think they can sell Anthem 2 is the problem. I think that if they
No.
really want to do this, they're like, we got to actually get this to a place where people like it, because I mean, I think we've got
They gotta
about the
really
average-
believe in it.
we've got to have between the four of us about the average buzz of gamers, and our buzz is, man, that fucking sucked. I would not pay $60 for that again.
I didn't pay $60 for that. I just
I
got
didn't either. I
yeah.
did the 1 month of
Yep.
Origin.
That backfired, huh? Oof.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do, though. They're trying to save face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like BioWare has to prove something to say, like, hey, we're still relevant, because they've had 2 misses in a row.
Yeah.
You know, EA is EA. They're starting to gain some goodwill to the gamers lately by putting all their stuff on Steam and
Yeah. So I mean,
and Skate
if
4.
EA is just funneling money into it and is fine with this huge loss that I'm assuming they're taking, I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't see how it's profitable. But if EA is like just letting it get dumped in for the chance that it might work, then great.
So I just
Burn
want
your
to
money,
point out, because this comes to mind with EA, this is the second time that Respawn Entertainment released a major shooter game a week before another major shooter game, but this time the Gambit paid off and Anthem was not good, and Apex Legends is still killing it.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
They got their due.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just sad it wasn't Titanfall.
I mean, it is,
Aren't we all?
but it isn't.
It's not.
Yeah, it's really,
Yeah, I'm
it's like
obviously I know
babies
it's not.
first.
Gosh,
It's fall.
Rip Titanfall. The game's so fun.
Yeah, because
I'm
they
so bad
basically,
at
I
Titanfall.
heard recently if they were going to go back to Titanfall, and they were like, we want to, but it's not going to be Titanfall 3. It'll be an Apex style in that universe, kind of new-ish IP.
Yeah.
I just want that movement system back. It was so much fun, and the Titans were cool.
Yeah, it was like the pilots is where it was at.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Fun
liked
robot
Last
game.
Titan Standing. I thought that was a fun game mode.
Mhm.
Titan elimination, just like chess.
Ooh.
Shit's
All right, we'll
chess.
just-
It ain't checkers.
We'll just get a Discord night where we all play Titanfall on PS4. Everyone's
That's free,
got it.
right? Everyone's got it, right?
Yeah, that's true. Scott would be into
All right.
that.
Yes.
Anytime.
Quack. We
Quack.
have listener questions. Oh no, we're not. We're not
Oh,
starting.
sorry, I didn't know what was happening there.
Look, you
This
know,
week's listener questions are brought to you by Admiral Nips Daycare. Drop your kids off, pick them up when you want, and they promise to pay minimal attention to them and cannot promise that the children will remain safe during their time at the daycare. For the low cost of 1 6-pack of seasonal beer or 1 bottle of peaty scotch per day, you can forget about your kids and their safety for however long you'd like. Thanks, Admiral Nips Daycare. Our first question comes to us from Doc. Do you think there's any hope for another big Nintendo game this year? Nintendo has been pretty silent lately, except for Paper Mario.
well,
I don't think we're getting another.
the fall is going to come.
Yep.
So the holiday season has to have a big one.
Yeah, but they've got it. That game has to be coming out in the next 2 or 3 months, and they haven't announced anything.
It's okay. It's
No.
Nintendo.
They announced like Paper Mario 5 weeks before it dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see one. What it is, I don't know. I'm not too hip to Nintendo.
Yeah, we'll get one.
Here's
Oh,
what
it's-
I'm wondering. I think that Nintendo's been pretty open about the fact that their production has gone way down with having to
That's
quarantine
true.
and
That is
everything.
also true.
And it might be that they were on track to have a game for winter, and then they got hit with COVID, and it's like Nintendo is not going to release a game early. They're not going to release something that they're like, this is not
No,
polished
not
enough.
at all.
So it might be that we go the whole rest of the year without a Nintendo thing because it's been pushed by COVID.
Well,
Very possible.
when's Pokemon Snap coming?
Next
That
year,
I
I
do
think.
not
Is it next year?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
I think that's a
I think it's
21.
2021.
Well, that might be the next big Nintendo game. I'm
Yeah,
excited
Pokemon
about it.
I could
Snap's
see
so
a
bad.
February for that or
Mhm.
something. I could
Yeah,
see them
yeah.
dropping that in February.
Or one of those like late January games where they're trying to get
Totally.
everybody that's finished their first game from their Switch
Yeah,
once
the-
they beat Breath of the Wild.
The Resident Evil
Exactly.
remake slot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's our only
February.
question for this week.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really good question, actually. For sure. Thanks, Doc.
Mhm.
All right, boys. It's time.
It's time. Can I get you do that like Bruce Banner
Bruce, like
Or-
the Hulk?
or Bruce Buffer? Jesus.
Who's Bruce Buffer?
The guy that does the in ring for the UFC.
I have no
Let's get
idea.
ready to rumble, guy.
No, his brother.
Oh, okay.
Because his brother does
Oh,
it
Rumble
for
Brother.
yeah.
The
His
Rumble
brother does
Brother.
it for boxing, and he does it for the UFC.
That's
the
not
Buffer
real.
Brothers.
For the UFC.
It's absolutely real.
Are you talking about the Buffer Brothers Rumble Brothers?
You know, I'm talking about the Buffer Brothers, Rumble
I have
Brothers.
no idea. The Buffer Rumble Brothers. I have no idea what that is.
They might be cousins or something. I know they're related though.
You guys are such fucking jokesters.
Ha!
We have fun here.
We do. We do.
All right.
Anyway. But it's
time
best
for
of the
greatest
generation.
The greatest generation. The game where you guys guess which games sold and which games got old.
Hey,
Most of them did is the
Yeah.
answer. So
indeed.
Oh, this is not going to be a fun one.
No?
what do you got for us, Ben?
What's
Okay.
the system?
This week we'll be looking at the PlayStation 2.
Oh. PlayStation 2.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a pretty boring list, but it seems just about right.
GTA 3.
Yep.
That was my
that
first
is
guess.
that's number 6.
Oh, what?
Oh,
So you're just outside.
Wait, which one is 6?
Grand Theft Auto 3 is number 6.
Okay. So, Vice City and San Andreas are their own things, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. GTA Vice City.
Number 4.
There it is.
GTA San Andreas.
Number 1.
There it is.
3 is top 6.
Wow.
See if you can guess numbers 2 and 3. I'll give you a hint. It's an exclusive. But it's not a game that you guys would think about on a regular basis. You guys aren't playing these.
Is it
What's an
Spyro?
What's an exclusive PlayStation game that we don't play?
MLB The Show. That's
Um,
later.
Gran Turismo.
There you go. Which ones
That
though?
makes sense.
3?
3?
Yep.
and 4.
Yep.
Both?
All right.
Oh,
That's numbers 2 and 3.
All right. So we've got what? Number 5 left?
But
is
number
what all we
5.
need?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just number 5. So far, number 1 is Grand Theft Auto. 2
Is this
Grand
another exclusive?
I don't know. I haven't. Wait,
Hmm.
PlayStation 2? Yeah. I think so. What else?
The
What's
fir-
that
was
up
it-
against?
Yeah.
That's up against the Xbox?
Yeah. OG
Yeah, I don't
Xbox.
think
And,
so. This ain't on an Xbox.
And GameCube would be the other one of that generation.
Resident Evil 4.
It's a
No.
good guess.
That was on
It did
GameCube.
come
though.
later. It came later though. on
Oh, it
PS2.
did come later.
Yeah. Is it
Okay.
Oblivion?
Originally released in 2001 for
3PS3 game.
Sony's. I'm giving you a hint.
Okay.
Originally released in 2001 for Sony's PlayStation 2, the game was re-released as blank for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita in 2013.
God of War?
Final. Hmm.
God of War 3.
Spyro.
No, it's not Spyro or God of War.
Hmm.
I had to go look up some
Is
stuff.
it a Crash game?
No, but it's a Square game.
Final
Oh.
Fantasy X.
It's Final Fantasy X.
Hey. All right.
All right, number 6 was Grand
you
Theft
just
Auto
dab?
3.
He did.
I did.
All right, just wild shots. Take some shots at 7, 8, 8, and 10.
7, 8, 8, and 10. There's really a tie for 8.
Yeah.
Have any of them been said already?
The franchise has been said for one of them. But there's some like solid like these are PS2 games.
Crash Bandicoot?
No.
Oh, Spyro?
No.
Is Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3 on there?
It's Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting game. Think of a fighting game.
Tekken?
Tekken 5. Now think of 2 Square games.
Final Fantasy
12?
7.
12. Yeah, that's XII, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
12. So what's the other one?
Dark Cloud.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
All right. That's just I
Good call.
like doing this, giving people a trip down memory lane of like what people were playing back then.
Back in the day. And if you're too young to remember any of these, go back. See what us old folks used to call entertainment.
Don't play these games. They're terrible.
How many on those lists have you guys played?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Gran
Theft Auto.
Turismo 4, Grand Theft Auto Vice City 3, Tekken 5. Kingdom Hearts a
For
little
that
bit.
list?
The only one I don't think I've done
5
is
wrong?
Final Fantasy 9.
What? That's the best one.
No, yeah, he said no. There's 10 and 12 on that list.
Oh,
Right.
sorry. I haven't done either 10 or 12.
Okay. I don't think I played
The
any of
only ones
those.
yeah.
Yeah, God of War is number 14.
Oh. Yeah, so I actually didn't play any of the GTA games before 4. I wasn't allowed.
I've played.
I always played it over at friends' houses.
Okay,
I technically didn't even do that, so I'm not even gonna lie. You know,
This
so the only ones I've played are the Final Fantasy games. Yeah,
this
all
is
Square
shocking
games.
to me. You guys tell me where you think Guitar Hero is.
Top 20.
26.
Alex, 26 is Pro Evolution Soccer 3. But number 25
my
is Guitar Hero 2.
25? And
Okay,
that's that was the best one
That was the best one
in that generation.
So I'm gonna say the first one was probably 33.
Oh, I'll say this. I still haven't found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good to know.
It would
I'm-
then- yeah.
Oh, really? I thought the first one was like huge.
The first one.
Also, like, where's like the Need for Speeds and like Thug and shit on that list?
Need for
That's what I'm
Speed's
surprised about, too.
Xbox,
Tony Hawk?
isn't
Is
it?
that what you're wondering?
Oh, it's the Holy Cross. Yeah, Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, Need for Speed's an EA game.
Need for Speed was definitely Cross. Yeah.
Let's see. I love.
Well, Tony Hawk 1 and
I have
2
a very specific
were.
question as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I have a couple.
Tony Hawk's Underground 49. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3
Okay.
50. Okay.
Oh, right next to each other.
They sold it to the exact same people.
What about Spider-Man 2?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Tony Hawk's
I'm actually
Underground
very
2 was
surprised.
107, 114 was 4. What game is it?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man was number 36. Spider-Man
That was a
2
long
number
game.
76.
Really?
76.
It sold worse than the first game. That's super surprising. What about Lord of the Rings?
This
The
Two Towers?
Yeah.
That was 46.
Wow.
See, surprisingly high. Yeah.
Yeah.
I trying to remember like the actually
All right, here's
surprisingly good.
the
like,
one that
games.
I care about because it was my favorite PS2 game, Baldur's Gate 2.
That's a good one. That's a good call. I don't think that's going to be super high. On the
It's
list,
not on the
unfortunately.
list.
No,
How do you
Ooh.
spell it? How do you spell it?
BAU.
No, it's
Wait,
BALDAUR.
BAL?
Yeah, DAUR.
No, that's not on here.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
You don't even get the satisfaction. Quack, what do you want? What do you love?
I want. Give me a surprising one in the top 20.
A surprising one in the top 20. Number 18, iToy Play.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't even know what that
Whoa.
is.
It was like a camera you put on top of your TV. It was like early Connect, and you had to like
Yeah.
try and hold up blocks and stuff. It was real weird.
There
Where
was
there
a
was
card
like
game with it, wasn't there?
I think so. And there was a thing where there were like bubbles on the screen that you had to pop.
Totally.
Reaching
I remember
around.
the freaking bubble thing. Yeah. That's surprising.
Oh, it's not
That is
just.
a shocker.
All right, so it's Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 is the game I was thinking of.
But their Baldur doesn't even show up on
Yeah,
this
I
list.
spelled it wrong. BALDUR.
Yeah, that's what I typed in.
Oh.
Didn't even
Yikes.
make it. Guitar Hero, by the way, number 102.
Wow.
Need for Speed. Underground is number 23. That's a good
There
game.
we go. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
Underground was good.
That's a
Mhm.
everyone's like, yeah, that's a good game. That's the only Need for Speed on this list.
What about Jack?
Oh
and
no,
Daxter?
Hot Pursuit. Jack and Daxter was Precursor Legacy was 17.
Mhm. That makes sense.
Right,
That's actually
yeah.
pretty high. That's
All
good.
right.
That's good.
This has been Bads looks up stuff on Wikipedia and just talks about it.
It was pretty fun though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an
yeah.
interesting
it.
one.
Yeah.
Hey, how well did your game sell? Let us know in the comments. I'm Detective Ben Malone. You can find me everywhere at Det Ben Malone. Remember, the band of the week this week is Green Tree Novelty Tea. You can find them at greentree.noveltytea.bandcamp.com, or in your ear holes right now, or soon, I guess. But
Yeah, these outros keep getting longer and longer.
hey, the band of the week. That's what it's all about. Not me just reading notes again. Patreon.com/barelyads, barelyads.com, barelyaddestinyshow@gmail.com, twitter.com/barelyads, and twitch.tv/barelyads. Where can people find you guys?
You can find me at I Make 'em Quack on Twitter, and in the Discord, I've got the rubber ducky picture.
You can find me anywhere you can find me. Xanafan711, streaming 2, maybe 3 nights a week on the channel. Alex.
And you can find me on PSN and Discord at GamerFreak857.
Yep.
Nope.
All right. See you next week. I'll be
Black
back.
Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Let's
Alright.
get a